You're right, guys. It's Yonks. We're over here at 2000 Trees, representing Feats, and we're here with Hyphen.
Hello.
This evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I know. I'm too used to this shouting in a mic. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for, you've just come straight off stage and basically done back-to-back interviews. So really, really appreciate your time.
You got it.
I have been wanting to see you live for several years now, and I got a chance to see you back in May at the Bread Shed, as you know. But my mum actually got to see you live before I did when you supported Bob Vylan.
Oh yeah, all right.
So I still haven't seen Bob Vylan, you know.
Yeah, I mean they're amazing.
It's got to be done.
They're amazing.
But I was telling my mum that you were dropping your song the other day, Said What I Said, and I went, oh, it's Hyphen's dropped a song, Said What I Said, and she was like, what's it called? And I was like, it's called Said What I Said.
The unintentional confusion I've caused. I do like song titles and names of things that are like, this might be it as the name of my EP, where it's like it has this like very ambiguous, like it means a lot of things, and you'd also use it in conversation. So I think this confusion happens.
No, completely.
I gotta have more clear song titles.
No, make it muddy.
Yeah.
Because your message is nothing if not abundantly clear.
Yeah. Maybe leaving some room for interpretation of the titles is useful.
Yeah, maybe. Do you mind telling us a little bit about the new track and
of course.
kind of
Yeah.
what was the inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I've done a few of these interviews today where you're having a lovely chat, you're vibing, and then I'm coming in with the vibes of like, but fascism. But I suppose it's Anyway, the inspiration for the song is, I don't know, man. Like, I think I love this song, by the way. I'm angry. I feel everyone is angry. Like, whatever you choose as your explanation for why things are getting worse, why people are feeling poorer, why there feels like there's less community in society, it's there, it's real, everyone feels it. People have different explanations for it. I am certain about what the explanation for it is, and the explanation for it is huge amounts of money pouring into things like GB News, which is a propaganda machine, which it's called news and it's entertainment. Even the title is a deception. And so and people believe it. People get manipulated by these things, and then they start voting for things that are against their own interests, worse in their lives, damage their already precarious situation. And so you can probably tell, as I'm saying this, how angry this makes me feel and how frustrated I am by it. And all my music is around this universe of topic, but Said What I Said was kind of me being hey, we need to not can I swear?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. We need to not fuck around, and we need to not deny the size of the threat here. Reform. People keep talking about they're going to be the next party. They're going to be the next party. They have openly said they want to privatize the NHS. They've openly said that they want to copy some of the most heinous, violent political policies in America. And it's how else can you feel about that but angry? And Said What I Said is me trying to be I'm not I don't want to dance around this anymore. They are fucking terrible, and I said what I said. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, love it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay streamlined with something that is part and parcel to your life as well as just your artistry. I wouldn't blame you for frothing at the mouth with rage. I feel like that a lot, borderline post-verbal with it, because it's I just feel
I don't know how to deal with these feelings.
Completely. They're so much bigger, and the thing that we're trying to fight is so much bigger than us as well.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that we shouldn't fight it, of course, but there are moments where
you feel hopeless.
Very disillusioned. I hate sometimes how it can you can slip into that feeling.
Yeah, of course. And this is kind of what the music is for, and there's something special that happens of you, sometimes we're consuming this information on our phones and you're on your own, and it marinates in your brain, and it makes you feel this just darkness, despair. You have that same conversation in a festival in a crowd of people, and suddenly you're I'm not alone. Thank God I'm not alone. Thank God other people share this anger. And then you're shouting choruses, and then you're oh my God, suddenly now I feel optimistic. Now I feel galvanized.
100%.
And so that's what I'm trying to do with all of my music in some way. I think Said What I Said has a particular focus, but all of my music is dealing with that. My family have a long history of a lot of them are left-wing academics. They've been talking about this professionally their whole lives. I've just, I guess, chosen to do this in a slightly, you know, with shorter shorts on. You know what I mean?
The shorter shorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, like that. What you're describing, I feel the exact same way. Of like, you feel this despair, but then like there's this alchemy that happens when you do the same thing with other people, and suddenly you feel just like connected better, and it makes me feel optimistic. I hope people leave my shows feeling optimistic, but like, fuck me, I feel optimistic after them, and that's, I don't know, I like that. You know what I mean? I think it's great.
Completely, it shows like your message. It's so pertinent, and I come away from, well, the 2 times that I've seen you, reminding myself that all hope is not lost.
Yeah, it never is.
There's always going to be people like us that are angry enough to say something about it, and maybe even do something about it as well.
Yeah, and like ultimately, any political freedoms that exist now, like there's always like a kind of sanitization of history and the struggles that people went through for any of the good things, even the weekend, even the idea of having a weekend. People had to fight for that. Like any of these good things that we like exist because people fought for it. And so like, as much as like the despair is there, it's kind of like, who are we to not pass on that baton? Do you know what I mean?
Completely.
That's kind of what, and like I say, I feel this despair all the time, but I hope that by making spaces where people can feel it in a little bit of a way that doesn't make you feel small, it makes you feel big and connected with other people, then like it gives you something to keep going and being like, in whatever way that I can engage, in whatever way that I can, even like having a conversation with like a relative who's like fallen down a right-wing pipeline, even that is engagement, even that is fighting the good fight in some way. And so yeah, I hope these spaces create the good energy you need to kind of keep yourself going. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, unfortunately with the rise of the right, they're obviously getting far more emboldened than ever, especially with you know, channels like GB News that you've mentioned, like reinforcing this bigotry and blindsiding people into believing one thing or another. And if we're not careful, we're in a very interesting tipping scale point. But that's why it's good to have these spaces where in the left we then feel emboldened in return, and we remember why we're, you know, feeling and fighting this all in the first place. And like, it's something I haven't really and like, I think I always find a lot of inspiration and kind of, there are stories of the past of people who fought struggles which like I really hope, like, I think it's Mary Jackson is her name. I talked about her a song, and she was this like mathematician in the 60s. She's a black mathematician. She was at the height of segregation in America, or a significant point in segregation in America. She was like a mathematician who made it to NASA. Right? This is a person who had every disadvantage, every obstacle against her, yet she finds a way to like persist and like contribute to this human flourishing and progress. And I think that like, in times when you feel dark, or, you know, hopefully this is useful for anyone who watches this, like, read the stories of people in the past who've faced maybe not exactly the same struggles, but ones that are similar in some way. You know, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And like, there's a lot to be taken for that, like, you know, that like steadfastness to just keep going. And again, like, all of that sounds very like hard, and it is hard. Again, this is where, like, for me, the music comes in, and like the joy comes in of like, oh, you know, this is hard, but like, can we just like dance together? Let's like have a party as well. And I think that they all relate for me, because it's like, you've got to have the steadfastness, but the joy, the community keeps you like positive enough to be steadfast and be kind of like continue when things are difficult. So yeah. Sorry, I really went off on a honestly,
tangent there.
You're preaching to the choir completely. So, it's really hard sometimes to channel anything other than the rage. I think obviously because it's out of such like necessity,
it's out of care as well.
Like frustration, like, and I mean, you might have to cut some of this out, but I'm getting particularly angry because it's really starting to affect some of my friends, and I've had friends that have been followed home, and I've had friends that with like people with flags and stuff.
I'm so
like,
sorry, that's awful. Christ.
But the cops obviously do nothing.
Of course.
And seriously cut this away. But yeah, it proves that the solidarity that we have in the groups and our chosen circles are so much, well,
it's
we need to lean on them more than
them.
ever.
Yeah.
And it is survival, like
Yeah.
by very definition sometimes.
Yeah.
Like my mate ended up staying over because he couldn't go back to his hometown.
Christ.
Because of all the, everyone patrolling the streets.
My God.
Holier than thou bullshit, honestly.
I know. And the thing you said about solidarity is like, and like again, the music thing I think is like these are places where people can come together, and they like there's a kind of that exists and it's there and it's kind of like safe protest for many people, and because protesting can be very unsafe.
Don't we know it?
And so I think that having spaces for that solidarity is like, again, it's nourishing in a way that you need. Like, it can't be always in the like depths of the fight, because like we're human beings. We're like animals that need like love and care and
joy.
Like you need that to live. Like we like at the heart of it. Like as much as we do all of this and we're all adults, like we're all just little kids at the heart of it. Like you're little kids that need, love and affection and this kind of thing. And so like being able to feel that in a space, like I don't know. I think that it is, as you say, more important than ever. Yeah,
I feel like we've like inadvertently touched on it already, but like especially at this moment in time and with what you've obviously been saying in your songs for a number of years now, like why do you feel it's important to like have these kind of conversations and be honest about the world and particularly this country now?
Yeah, I mean, I said this in another interview where like I talk about politics all the time, but what I'm always reluctant to say, and like people actually find this, some people don't really like when I say this, but I'm like, I never say reform voters are stupid and I hate them, because I find them to be people who've been manipulated. They're often people who are disenfranchised. They have not been given access to the things that they would need to know the difference between like what is difference between GB news and actual news, or like actual news. What does that even mean? But like they don't know the difference between like propaganda and like no. These people are lying to you, and like a lot of these things where like okay, immigration is one. If you go again, so context for this, my parents are academics. They would always engage in these topics. There are nuanced debates you can have about the economic impact of immigration and like what are the long run impacts. And there's lots of stuff you can have. You can have policy debates about that, but we're not having policy debates. What we're having is like a smear of misinformation, which is intended to make people hate each other. It's not like a nuanced political debate where we're having a sensible debate about like, oh, actually, what are the best ways to ensure that people have housing? Like, we're not doing that. We're just having this like thing of like it's like a magic trick, right? It's just like, look over there. Oh wait, I've taken more money from you.
Yeah.
Look over there. Oh wait, the NHS is privatized now. Oh, look over there. We've done another oil. We've started drilling another oil field.
And you know who you should blame? Not the billionaires.
Oh, it's the immigrants. It's the immigrants. They're the reason. And like, it's like, yeah, like you can't have a policy debates. Like we're never having policy debates. We're having like, please don't hurt these people.
If only we could get to that point, but instead we're trying to tell people that you should give a shit about other people regardless of their colour. Like, my God. Or like fleeing war that we've usually created.
Exactly. Like,
my God, like talk about a freaking contradiction.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I feel like I should say, you probably cut this bit out, but like, I don't need to go into this.
Louis, edit Louis.
Yeah. I mean, you could be the judge of it. But anyway,
no, go for it, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the thing with, I was correcting the point I was saying about immigration and the academic research, because I think what the academic research pretty consistently shows is that there's no long-term impact of immigration on people's wages. In the short run, there is some impact at like lower wage levels, which is something I don't want to dismiss. That is a problem, and that is something you need to think about. But like, that's one of these nuances that you have to like engage with, but we're not engaging with that. That's not all we're doing. We're not like getting to that point of like, you can decide if you cut that bit or not.
No, honestly. I could talk to you for an awfully long time about all this, because it's, Do we need to wrap it up? No!
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, alright. Well, keep fighting the good fight, honestly.
I appreciate it. Same to you.
Yeah, completely. We have one final question that feels a bit of a departure from everything that we've been talking about.
Okay.
But over at Feats, we always ask people if you could collaborate with anyone dead or alive.
Oh, dead or alive?
Yeah. Who would you collaborate with?
Oh, God. I'll go with the answers that went up front of mind, which may not be my permanent answer, but the answers in this current moment. It's the people who I just toured with, which are Native James, Mudrat, Jenna the Degenerates. Like, oh, I love them all so much. They're all wonderful.
Lineup in May.
Also
I
wonderful
felt
people.
spoiled. Yeah,
sick. I'm glad.
We were there
I'm
from the
glad.
start. It was fantastic,
Sick,
honestly.
sick,
I love how
sick.
you guys you like swapped around who
Yeah,
played
yeah,
when
yeah,
throughout the tour. I
yeah.
thought that was brilliant.
Oh,
'cause,
great.
like,
I love that. Thanks.
yeah, no, totally. I don't know whose like cool that was, but it was. I think
Yeah.
it was really fun. Just give everyone
Yeah.
a moment. It was so.
Yeah, sorry. I
No,
can't-
no,
sorry.
no, not at all.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're bands that we've loved for a while, and like I've toured with Native James 2 years ago, and it was like a thing of like, I don't know, these are really cool bands. Everyone's got to see them, and we wanted to we wanted to do something a bit different, and I'm really pleased that people, what you're saying is, I'm glad this is a reaction.
Yeah,
So
no,
thank you.
it
Thank you for coming
landed.
as well.
The
Yeah, thanks.
objective landed,
sick.
and it was particularly great to see Mudrat because obviously they're all the way from over in
Love that
Australia.
one.
So like, I didn't know. I got into them maybe a year or two ago,
Yeah,
but I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
knows when I'm going to see these guys
Yeah.
because they're from the other side of the world.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
lo and behold,
Yeah.
absolutely racked lineup. Honestly,
Sick,
that was fabulous.
sick.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this up, even though
Okay.
I'm having way too much fun.
Oh,
But
it was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it was lovely to meet
lovely
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
This was us interviewing Hyphen over at Feats. I've been Yonks,
Hello.
and I will catch you
Hello.
later.